everybody, and welcome to TableTakes. TableTakes. So today is September 18th. Sorry, so I blame Isabella for that because she's like, you got to do it, So
I'll take that.
There we go.
I'll take the heat. It's okay.
Take the heat. But yes, hey, we got a new face today. Hey, Javion, of course, you've been here before, but for some of the people in chat who might have not seen you, how about you do a little intro of yourself and what you did this weekend?
Hi, everybody. It's Javion. I play a lot of board games. I work at a lot of board game places whenever I get the chance to. I've been playing for like years. If you don't know me already, you know I love dice. So expect that to come up a lot whenever I'm on stream.
Design some board games too.
Yes, that's true. That's right. Emma and I are trying to get something going. So I'll let you know about that if anything comes out of it. But yeah, I am excited to be on the show for the first time since, moving digital. And I am excited to talk about some board games today too. Oh, this weekend I bought way too many board games. I'm really excited, and some rock climbing gear. So I'm going to be doing some rock climbing whenever I get the chance when the stuff comes in tomorrow.
What games? Anything in particular stand out?
Oh, okay. So, sorry, I hit my mic. So I'm so excited. So there's this dice game called Escape the Dark Sector. It's based on Escape the Dark Castle, and it's so much fun. It's a co-op game. It's super simple. You just roll dice and see what happens. But you also get to be like, oh no, you kick down the door. You have the most health, or oh, you're good at like strength stuff. So we're gonna have you like try to loot the huge item out of the rubble or something like that. And I haven't tried the sci-fi one yet though, so I'm so excited to play it.
Nice.
Very, very nice, exciting, and of course, good luck on the rock climbing. Hopefully, the air will clear in time for you to
It'll be indoors.
have some fun.
To make it safe enough to go to the place.
Right.
Yeah, to go to the place.
Yeah.
But yes. Oh, yeah. And speaking of those hanging out, Emma, what did you do this weekend, huh?
A couple of things. I got a new mug I wanted to show off. This is the dice ain't nice is the theme on this.
Oh, I love it.
It comes in all sorts of different colors, and it's from Our Family Plays Games. You might recognize that logo.
Yeah.
They're this really cool YouTube channel that has amazing videos about board games, and they've also been very supportive of me personally. So I want to support them back. Also this week I've been playing a little bit of, or I should say yesterday, I've been playing a little bit of Zendikar Rising because that's up on Arena as of yesterday. You can now do seals, drafts, the Switch has come over, so all of the old sets are gone. Zendikar Rising is here, it's new, completely shaking up the meta. I've been having a lot of fun with the landfall, the party mechanics, and then all of the different creature types within that. There's a lot of cleric synergies, cleric synergies, warrior synergies, rogue synergies. So a lot of fun new mechanics and kickers and different things. And so far, I've only done a few drafts, but it seems pretty good because the last two that came out were the Core 2021 and Amonkhet Remastered, which was a Amonkhet Remastered, very interesting draft environment. The core set, all core sets are, pretty, a little less crazy, a little lower powered. So excited to have this new one. It seems reasonably approachable for people getting into it. So if you haven't tried it out, you should definitely check it out because it's fun new Magic stuff.
Yes, approved by Emma, who's of course the what is it? What was your new title again? The
Magic magician?
No, there was another one. Didn't you just get platinum or something?
Oh, Ms. Mythic.
Ms. Mythic, the Mid Mythic. There you go. That's the name. Emma, the Mid Mythic. So been approved. And then Isabella, what did you do this weekend?
This weekend
or no, this week. Sorry, we're not in future. We're past. Hold on. Where's it for?
Sorry, that threw me off for a second. This week, honestly, nothing. Honestly, I'm doing absolutely nothing. I'm having serious brain fog. the weather has been messing with me so much, and I get like headaches and funky little nosebleeds. So it's just been me and Pyewacket hanging out inside, and I've been playing the heck out of Breath of the Wild, which I just got. And I know I'm like years and years behind, but you know, I had a life before all of this. I had friends before all of this. And now I have none of those things. And so
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. And I'm just obsessed. I love Link so much, my God. It's just like the rush of serotonin of seeing the just little baby boy just swinging
with the noise.
Yes. And I'm really excited. So I've just been playing that game. I love it. If you have any tips or tricks or anything like that, please let me know.
What did you name your horse?
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
Oh
yet.
No, nothing. You didn't hear anything. Erase that from your memory.
No, I've been trying to catch a wild horse and I can't do it. I can't do it. So if somebody wants to come over here, I'll leave my stuff outside and you But if I'm going to name a horse anything, I'm probably gonna do a dumb name like how I name everything. I'm probably gonna name it like Markifer or like or like Gwynna John or something like that.
Nice.
I like taking two different names and putting them together into something else. So.
This is important to bring up though, because a lot of people play that game and they don't actually listen to any of the text because there's so much text, right? And
there's so much text.
Oh, let me welcome you to the village. And like 10 screens in, they're like, by the way, you can catch a horse. And at that point, you're just like, just click. I don't even care. I'm not reading. So my friend had played it for like 40 hours or something. And he's the kind of guy who like horse in a game. That's like his thing. I'm like, you know, you can get horses there. He's like, what? So I always like to make sure people are aware.
I love it. I love going around and being like, what's up with you? What are you doing? What are you doing over here? What's happening? Can I pet this dog?
Can you pet it? Yeah.
You can't pet the dogs in this game.
You can play fetch though.
I haven't successfully done anything with the dogs. That's my one complaint is that you
I must pet the dogs. Must pet the dogs.
Yeah.
Must pet the dogs.
That's it.
I think for Breath of the Wild, I did end up rage quitting because I just, I got these nice tools and then they just break and I'm just like, never mind. But besides that, I did like a lot of the exploring and doing a lot of dumb jumps. And then of course my habit of going parkour every time I jump off of something.
I just want to say I got a big extra large horse and I named him Xanathar. After the beholder in D&D.
I love it.
Love it.
I'm excited for this weekend because of the fact that it might rain. I hope it rains pretty heavy.
I do too.
Yeah.
I wish for rain. That's my please rain so we can clear the smog. Rain gods, please part the air.
It's raining here now, so hopefully it will.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Sorry, we're all Seattle people, and if you guys don't know, West Coast is literally on fire, and so smog is everywhere, and it's air quality is in the red, especially those in Washington. So yeah, keep your mask on. Pandemic plus smog, whatever. I guess for me, my thing is just now I'm addicted to this game called Pop-Up Dungeon, which is kind of like a how XCOM is like turn-based kind of RPG. That's essentially what it is, and you get like it's very hard for me to describe, but it has like real like board game kind of mechanics in it where you get to like roll a d20, you get to choose what path you want to take, and it's just a lot of good fun. So if you guys like board games and liking digital games as well, you might want to check out this Pop-Up Dungeons independent game. Just saying. Not sponsored, hashtag not sponsored. I don't know, because I was like, oh wait, that sounds like a commercial. No.
I know which game you're talking about. It looked really fun. I think it's on Steam, right?
Yeah, it's on Steam.
Nice.
And so yeah, my community was like, and I've been addicted to it. But let's go ahead on more addictions, that is board game addictions. We got news for you. Isabella, you got some stuff because of course it is what's going on in D&D.
So this weekend actually starts D&D Celebration 2020. where they're going to be streaming a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's already started, question mark, question mark, question mark, because I'm looking at the times, but they don't say in what time zone any of these things are. But the really exciting news is that there were the first previews for the new Tasha's book, including the two new subclasses. One is Barbarian Path of Wild Magic, and the other one that I'm really excited for, which is the Warlock Genie subclass, which is super cool because not only can you form a pact with your own djinn, which is mind-blowing, okay, but also you can hang out in the lamp, and that's the most exciting thing for me. I don't know why. You can make wishes and like you can like do a whole bunch of like extra spells and stuff like that. But also imagine your genie hanging out in the lamp. All of your other players, your friends and everything, they're in danger. You are just hanging out inside the lamp with your genie watching, I don't know, high def television. I don't know. I would constantly, every single time that the party was like in danger, I would be like, roll to hide in lamp. And then I would hide in the lamp.
I've already started practicing my Robin Williams impersonation.
Yeah, you could just be Aladdin and Genie and be like, yeah, this is my friend. Never ever lied.
So that's super exciting. And the stats look super cool. And so, yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, is it like, so what do you know anything else about like the barbarian class? Is it
Oh, right, the other one. Yeah.
You have to give it some love. It only can't be about genies, even though Genie is pretty awesome, honestly.
Well, what did we were talking about this earlier before we started, and you were talking about how the barbarian class differed from the other version of this.
Oh yeah. So I know a little bit about this just because I know spells. I'm not a spell person when it comes to D&D. I'm a punch them in the face until they tell me answers. Yeah. So that's like my thing. I'm like, weapon accuracy. No, punch face. No. So I think this one, instead of all of the rolls, like, because you have to roll from a random table of what your wild magic does, because it's wild magic. You don't know what's going to happen. You cast it goes anywhere. Before you had a chance of becoming a chicken for 30 minutes, and that just seems like a no-no in that kind of respect. But now all of the bonuses are actually good stuff, so you don't have to worry about like you roll your bonuses, your hair is a different color. So now it's like legitimately you get actual buffs for you and your allies whenever you do your wild magic. So yay.
Yeah, I mean, 30 minutes is a long time in combat. That's like most combats are over in like 5 or 10 minutes or something. So 30 minutes, like you're just out for the whole combat, which seems kind of bad.
I mean, speaking of Breath of the Wild, chickens are dangerous things. You just gotta be careful.
Yeah, I mean, if you become a chicken and you get a new stat sheet with all the chicken's abilities and you get to role play as a chicken in combat, then yeah, like that's cool. I like that. Like that's a fun and exciting avenue for you as a barbarian. But if you're just like, if it's like polymorph in WoW, right? You're just like walking around like a chicken. Yeah, I mean, if you can go like stay in combat and like peck the eyes of the bandits or whatever, then yeah, I'm into that.
Just like a chicken that's just outfitted in the same kind of gear.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just everything is chicken sized,
Yeah, little
that'd be pretty cool.
Helmet.
Yeah. I would actually opt to just stay as a chicken for the rest.
You just want to be a barbarian chicken for the rest of your game. Hey, you know what? If your DM allows it and they allow those breaks, that'd be pretty
I'll just
cool.
carry you under my arms.
Yes.
Like you don't want to piss off this chicken.
Yeah. But
attacked, then I could just be like, I'm not with them. I'm just a chicken.
I'm just a chicken. Just take all your gear off. But yeah, no. So the biggest thing to get out of this is that whatever other things, Genie. that's our
very
big
excited for this.
Barbarian
for everyone.
Barbarian is my favorite class, and I haven't actually tried wild magic yet. But it just seems like a barbarian with wild magic would just like supercharge it. So I'm excited for the Barbarian.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. But yes. Oh, on so yeah, you guys go ahead and look up. They're going to be doing events all today for the D&D Celebration 2020. So go ahead and keep your eye out for more information after the stream, of course. So on other news, for those who like Borderlands, you might, if you played Borderlands 2, you might have noticed that there was a DLC called Tiny Tina's Assault of Dragonkeep. Which you finds the game's hero playing through a D&D spoof of bunkers and badasses as they work through emotional-ish, death, emotional things just surrounding death and player character death. And now it is officially gonna become a real RPG. Collaboration with Nerdvana Games, Gearbox, and most notably, Leader. How do you pronounce that? Leader.
Yeah, Leader Games.
Yeah, Leader Games. So basically, the makers of Root, they're going ahead and working together, and making an actual RPG based off of Tiny Tina's Bunker. Tiny Tina's Bunkers from all that words are hard. So you play as 10 different Vault Hunter classes, which actually takes from like the Borderlands skill tree and such. The adventure includes Tiny Tina's assault on Dragon Keeps, Butt Stallion's Heiny Hunts, and as well as the Merchant's Quest for the Wizard's Wand. So it's releasing about $60 for the source book, or a deluxe edition. Not too sure of the deluxe edition pricing, but it is going to be available for pre-order September 30th. What do you guys think of this merge of games plus RPG?
I like this. One of these things is not like the others.
It was so worth hearing you say, but Stallion's Heiny Heist. It was so worth it. This news is great.
Yeah, the Honey Heist, like that was an indie RPG. Like, this is an adventure in here. Is it related to the Honey Heist game?
I guess we'll have to see. You have to see when it comes out. I'm
curious. I mean, the one that was you play as a bunch of bears, like a one-sheet RPG, and you're like stealing honey.
But now we're butt stallions, though.
That's the name of my horse. That's gonna be the name of my horse in Breath of the Wild, Butt Stallion.
Oh my gosh!
Yay! Okay, good. I'm glad
we did it. We got there.
Perfect name.
Yes.
Got a dice, so I'm in.
So and plus, it's from the developers of Root, and Root itself also recently became a board game as well. So no, it's an actual game, like a Root, the video game. Yeah, it came a video game.
Yeah.
They have a digital version.
Yeah.
They have a digital version. So it'd be exciting to see how this comes out. And of course, if you're a big Borderlands fan, look at that. More stuff to come. Actually, more things that are coming out from Hasbro. Javion, what do you got from Hasbro coming?
Yay, my turn. All right, HeroQuest. So I've been super excited to play HeroQuest for a very long time, but I haven't been able to find anybody to play it with me. So Hasbro and I think Avalon Hill just announced that they are going to be making HeroQuest again. It's returning. We're getting HeroQuest back. It was originally published in 1991, and they're actually just going to be remaking it. So now it's sorry, I was reading chat. People are calling me things. I love fantasy games. I love dungeon crawlers. But I think the one thing that made me want to play HeroQuest the most, do you guys remember when board games had commercials?
Oh yeah.
Like the old Dark Tower one with the horse in it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of people remember the HeroQuest live action commercials that were super extra.
Where you took your warrior and pushed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that now. That sounds excellent.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a video, actually, if you follow that link that's in the Discord chat, you'll see there's a video about why you should play HeroQuest, and the guy who talks about it is so animated and excited about HeroQuest. It made me want to play it, even though it looked like really complicated.
Mm.
Now, like, I just want to like put a bunch of miniatures down on huge, like if you've ever seen HeroQuest like terrain, the stuff that you can put on the board just out of like a board game box is like it's so like three-dimensional. Everything is really like cutely designed, but it's on a grid. So it's like Gloomhaven before Gloomhaven happened.
Nice.
And so now we're getting like a remake of it, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think also we talked about a little bit like I think we had like we had a little bit of news about this, but on a separate scale. I think to let people know, Restoration Games is not actually affiliated with this HeroQuest announcement. What is it called? Like they because a while ago we were like speculating because they filed for a trademark for HeroQuest Legacies. And so they released a statement that it's just circumstances that came out like, hey, no, that's their stuff. We got different things, but I don't know, suspicious.
I hope that means that there's going to be a legacy version of HeroQuest coming out, because everything else has a legacy game now.
Well, yeah, I mean, companies do this all the time where they file for, especially properties that haven't been used in a while. And Restoration Games, of course, is very well known for Fireball Island, like bringing back old games and making very cool new polished versions with most of the mechanics intact. And we just wanted to throw this out there because people are still, even after Restoration Games is like, we're not partnering, we're not involved in this at all. People are like, yeah, but you did do that trademark, you sure? Wink, wink. Like, no, stop it, seriously. Like, we're gonna get in trouble if you keep saying this. And people are like, yeah, I don't know, maybe. So
this is like those two best friends who are actually just like straight up platonic, and they're like, hey, you sure you're not dating?
No,
But yeah, no. So we'll have to just see what happens with this new HeroQuest announcement of the return of it. And next, now, of course, Emma, what is the magic news this week?
So we have a new secret lair announced, Showcase Zendikar Revisited. We talked about secret lairs in the past. If you're into magic, you might be excited about this. If you're not into magic, you will probably not be excited about it at all because it's just old magic cards released in a new fancy way. Specifically, what this secret lair is going to be really great for is commander stuff. Honestly, a lot of the secret lairs have been really great for commander stuff because a lot of those, especially very popular commander cards, get to be very expensive. And commander is one of those formats that is most often played in paper. Most people I know who play commander play paper, so you do actually have to go out and get the cards for it. So these ones are specifically a bunch of commander staples from old Zendikar sets and have really cool new art for them. We have the link there if you want to check out the cards. They look super sweet. It's just kind of a nice thing to go along with Zendikar Rising being released, more Zendikar themed stuff. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not as excited as I was for like the cat ones or like the Sweet Goblin ones, but these are pretty cool. And if you are a commander player, you might find some of the cards that you like in this. There was at least one card that was in Zendikar Rising, I think, because they almost always release a few, like Tormenting Voice, for example, has been released before. So in every new set, they often have some cards from previous sets. So you might recognize some of these cards from the new Zendikar Rising in Arena. But if you're into Magic and Commander, you should check out these cards and see if there's something in there for you. I've been really impressed with the Secret Lair stuff in general, because it's just really cool to see new art, new interpretations of these cards, and often a more economical way to purchase these cards. Or just get it and I shouldn't say that, speculate on the cards, because even if you decide that you don't end up playing these, they're probably going to be very popular and valuable. So that's a kind of nice thing about getting into these cards. You know, if you spend $40 or whatever, it's not necessarily wasted because there's a secondary market for Magic, potentially recoup some of your costs. Oh wait, that's $29.99 for the non-foil version and $39.99 for the foil version. But come on, like non-foil, I don't know who
doesn't get the
without their
shinies. I don't know. Like we have to see. So I'm team shiny. But what about all of y'all? You team
I'm
shiny?
team budget. I will buy.
Team budget.
I buy packs. I buy decks for Magic.
I mean, that is fair. When I'm getting cards, like I'm not going to spend an extra $30 or whatever for the shiny version. I usually get this. What's cool about Magic when you're buying individual cards is the non-shiny ones like 10 cents and the shiny ones 15 cents. And then I'm like, I'm gonna get the shiny one because like you can get like just cheap bad cards. A lot of the cards in my commander decks are not super powerful or want or desired. So I can just make them shiny or like basic lands or whatever. Those are fun to point out.
Well, we know. What about you, Isabella? Are you
I am also team budget.
team budget?
Yeah.
I also am like looking at this and being like, I mean, okay, if you're buying these, which it sounds like people are buying these kind of for like the like just to kind of have them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To collect them.
Yeah.
So if you're just buying them for collection, and if you have that kind of scratch, go ahead, splurge. Buy the foil version. It's super nice. When you have a date, you can bring them back your foil cards. And I'll
my
be
gosh.
super impressed.
Yeah.
And then you can show them the giant 12-foot skeleton that you also just bought from Home Depot. You'll be good. And this is my dating advice from somebody who should never be trusted for dating.
I love that. Before like thinking you might bring him back to your apartment or whatever, like just putting out your binder there on
I
your
could just
coffee
see
table.
this is
like,
your
oh,
test.
I left out my magic binder.
My magic binder, it's open.
It's
Oh,
open
what
to
is
the page? Like, oh look, and there's Oketra there. And there's my foil Nicobolus.
I bet that would probably like I know a couple of people who would be like, oh yes, hello. So based off of that, be like, all right.
When you say a couple of people, you mean yourself, Bonsai.
No, I know of other people as well.
Sure.
But yes, all right. So that's cool news. If you guys want to get those hard copies, go ahead and click on that link so you can go ahead and see all the beautiful artwork as well. And now, hey, guess what? Let go with Isabel. What you got?
I thought you were gonna say let go to the next topic.
Oh yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah,
No, rewind. Wait, don't
Pokemon Lego.
Let
The
go
next
to the next segment. There you go.
I'm just trying to help out the team. I'm just trying.
Teamwork.
So Lego Ninjago. Oh my god, Ninjago. Woo!
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get through this. It's the air quality. Has now come out with a very simple TTRPG to introduce kids to role-playing games. This is like such a cute idea. If you have a kid that's interested in Legos, they're probably interested in the whole Ninjago thing, which is there's like a TV show and there's a ton of sets, there's movies. It's a very, very popular thing for kids. And so I think this sort of transitioning over into a TTRPG is like really, really cool. And especially if you're trying to figure out like, all right, I'm here with my kids. We're inside the house. We cannot leave. The air is toxic to breathe. This is like a great way of like getting them to do something cool inside the house. Besides like, I don't know what kids do, eating Pop-Tarts and the dab, I guess.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
People still do that?
Hello, fellow kids.
Hello, kids.
Here you go. Here's a dab. Well, they can't go on TikTok anymore, so I guess they just have to dab. Included as part of the new sets is the Journey to Skull Dungeons and the Skull Sorcerer's Dungeon. Let's see, 5 of these sets can be joined together to give you a full 3D dungeon for the included adventures, as well as mini Lego minifigs for all of the pre-gen characters. So it works with a 5-sided Lego die, and the rules are super, super simple. The characters are all pre-gen and the adventures are very linear, which is really good way of kind of introducing the more complicated TTRPG rules, which makes it very simple for like kids to be their own GMs and to run their own games with their own kids. And this sounds adorable and I love it. And Legos are the great, I think, introductory phase to either getting your kid to be into RPGs or engineers, which I think is why every parent buys their kid Legos with the hope that this will turn into a viable career.
Yeah. Called out. Wait, okay, you said a lot of words there and I was paying attention to most of them, but you also said 5-sided die, and now like that's the thing that I'm fixated on.
You
looked at it.
You blacked out and
yeah.
5-sided die and you were like
5 dice. No, but it is pretty cool. Like just look at the if you click on the link, just look, because I geeked out about it too, because I am an adult kid and I like Lego bricks. So yeah, it's just a really interesting 5-sided die, and you put your Lego figurine in the 5-sided die and you spin it.
Oh, that's the dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like a Beyblade.
It looks like a little flower.
Come back to Beyblades.
It's like a Beyblade.
It is kind of like a Beyblade. Yeah, exactly how chat was saying, like, we want our Beyblade RPG.
Okay, it makes sense.
There you
how
go.
It's connected now. I thought the chat was just going crazy. I will say, like, part of the old person in me is like, when I was a kid, we used to just make up games and use our imagination and play pretend and stuff. But I think this is cool because sometimes your parents or whatever just like, I don't know, just go make something up, like entertain yourselves, and you don't know how to do this. So I think having a little bit of framework like this, especially tied to something that kids are already passionate about, is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of the BFF role-playing game for kids? It's just a game about having like sleepovers and being best friends, and it's amazing. So if you already have that one, and no evil, thank you, or something like that.
No thank you, no evil.
No thank you,
Yeah.
evil. Yeah, I could definitely see adding this to the collection.
No offense, but that sounds so sad. You have to you have to imagine you have to play a game to make friends. That sounds so sad. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you're playing with your friends, presumably.
Oh, okay. I thought you were playing a game where you're like, and now I've made a friend. Hey, friend. And you have to like, there's nobody there. You're alone. Sorry.
Oh, no. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that is actually kind of sad, but yeah.
That is sad. Yeah.
Can you imagine if you came into a room and your kid was playing a game alone?
You know what? Actually, I'm mad. I'm actually super jealous. I didn't have these kinds of RPG sets as a kid. Like I didn't like D&D wasn't cool when I was growing up. My parents thought it was like all demonism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the RPGs, there was RPG for kids. That's for adults. That's for weird old adults who like play board games in their parents' basements and stuff.
Yeah.
So I wish
anymore.
I had something like this when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The only board games that I played when I was a kid was like Girl Talk. Do you guys remember that game? Very problematic. It's a game where you pick up a phone and there's a man on the other end of the phone. And you guys never played this game?
I know what you're talking about.
I just never didn't play that. No.
Oh, and he's like, hey, let's go to the mall.
Yeah.
And it's like a man's voice. It's not a boy's voice. It's a man's voice. And you're like 10.
Yeah. And you're like 10 years old and you're like, great, I'll see you at the mall. And you have to like do the thing to get to go to the mall. It was very problematic. I was watching commercials of that because I thought I dreamt it like a fever dream.
I remember there was like a Barbie's phone call one, but yeah, no, this is way better from that man on the voice phone.
Kids, but you're not us.
Yeah, stranger danger.
Stranger danger. But no, I think like just to go back, I think it's actually really great that this is like set up in such a way that like even you don't have to be like like you can just have a kid, this is their intro to GMing, or
Mhm.
and I just, it's so cute. And also, yeah, Lego itself has been making moves in the board game industry. Like they've been trying to make board games like convertible, like build your own board game kind of thing. So it's exciting to see what else Lego comes up with. And we just have to see. But yes, that 5-sided, I was like, as soon as I saw the 5-sided Lego die, I was like, oh, Javon's gonna love it. The little flower.
Yeah.
But yes, and on a more exciting news about like coming out, why don't you tell us about the new Gloomhaven? No, that didn't. I tried. Never mind. Never mind. That segue was horrible. I tried.
I love you and you're perfect.
Thank you.
All right. So in Gloomhaven news, we were talking before the show about Gloomhaven, Frosthaven, raising $15 million, blowing everything out of the water. And now they're expanding that universe with a comic book adaptation. I saw this tweet from Nolan Nasser, who is illustrating the comic, who's part of, or the owner of Deepwater Games and other organizations as well. SourcePoint Press and Cephalofair Games are releasing the Gloomhaven Fallen Lion one-shot comic. Again, not a one-shot RPG, which was very confusing for me. Figuring out like comics come in one-shots too. It's not just role-playing games. Set in the game's universe, and this is coming on December 30th, 2020. They recently raised nearly $13 million on Kickstarter for Frosthaven expansion. The creator of Gloomhaven, Isaac Childress, was talking about the adaptation, showing that the comic and the art is going to inject a lot more flavor into the world, get a better idea of the city of Gloomhaven, a little of the city life going on there, get more understanding of the characters, how they move and act in combat. So it's going to be part the characters in combat, and then also more of the flavor of the world. There's going to be a lot of fighting scenes, but it will go beyond just the fighting core gameplay loop to tell a more visual story. So this is pretty cool. We've seen some different games kind of building up their universe, like board games connected to video games and connected to role-playing games. And for the most part, especially with such a popular IP, Gloomhaven is becoming a very big IP. And I could see more stuff, heck, TV shows, right? Or movies even built up on this. And you think, it's just a small indie game that went on Kickstarter, but $13 million, right? Like that's one of the biggest board games of all time. So this is something that's moving into our pop culture awareness. So it's cool to see them building out and leaning more on the flavor. Because I know when I played Gloomhaven, I only did the one shot of it, but it felt, we only did the combat part of it. So I never really got a sense of the more role-playing aspects or going to cities or doing quests, but there's a lot of that in there too that people really enjoy.
Yeah, with $13 million, you can do, they should be doing stuff. They should be like releasing a comic book and like doing like, I don't know, releasing CDs. I don't like
my mixtape.
They should. For $13 million, like, my goodness, there's so many things that you should do with that. Like, you should get, everybody gets a free shirt. Everybody gets like a free stuffed animal. Like that's like so much money to raise for a game. And I forget what their goal was. I know it wasn't $13 million, but like, unless it was, which I'm like, aim high.
Right on the dot.
Yep.
Those goals lofty. But that seems, it seems, I really like cross media stuff. I like there's a game, but then there's also something else that sort of ties into the whole world of it. I really, really like that. And more companies are starting to do that, where they're thinking about like not only the game, but how do we sell sort of like the world of it? What's the other kind of media that we can link in together with it? And so this only makes sense, especially for this kind of stuff, because you can just make like lines of comic book series. You can just make, a whole thing expanding on the world, and that gets people more interested in playing the game. So this sounds cool, but with $13 million, I'm still obsessed with this. Okay? Everybody should get the game and then also $100.
Well, here's the money back. No, but I think it is very interesting with that, like that they are expanding to comic books. Like, even chat was like, comic books, then to anime, or not anime, but animated
no,
shorts.
Anime. Yes.
Oh, or
Yeah.
anime. Sorry, just straight up no anime
Straight
shorts.
to
You get anime,
anime.
and then the movie adaptation. Like this might be, you know, how there's like, of course, like like, you know, each generation has their own, like, you know, there's sexy vampires in one generation or sexy monsters, and you know, now the other one was like hot, like, you know, sci-fi fantasy kind of thing with of course why I'm not thinking Lord of the Rings, I'm thinking of Game of Thrones, you know, coming out. Maybe this is going to be the rise of tabletop RPGs
Yeah.
coming into movies and mainstream.
That's a great idea. Netflix recently was looking for more IPs. They were talking about how they want to have more series that's like, they want their own version of Harry Potter, their own version of Lord of the Rings. And so I was thinking about it and I was like, well, then why not just adapt one of these games? These games already have such a huge audience. So why not just do that? So that's perfect. I just loved Emma's face as soon as you were talking about sexy vampires. And
Ouch. Wow. Nice, Emma. Dang.
I think it was
Emma, don't you want sexy vampires? No, you want. Come on.
There's this face.
But yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see, and especially, you know, they're riding that wave of their, like, of course, millions upon millions of making of those money. So we'll just have to see how the comic book is like.
Yeah.
And now, for those into the Disney spirit, Disney Shadowed Kingdom has been announced from Mondo Games. So if you guys, Disney is, of course, working with a couple of other, so Disney is starting to make this game where like the ever watching shadows over the kingdom is stripping the world of magic. If you ever played Kingdom Hearts, you kind of know what we're talking about. So it's the world, like, basically magic's being stripped away, and you know, it's putting the world into silence. There's no magic, there's no, you know, music and such. So the player's task will be exploring the kingdoms in search of the of magic to restore the land using memory and deduction. So the players, the interesting about this game is that the players cannot talk. They have to, there's no speaking whatsoever. And you have to, like, basically try to find ways to restore magic because, you know, the shadows have taken over. So silence has taken over. And so you have to, like, either write down, signal, you know, and you don't want the shadows to know your plans. That's also a reason why you have to play quietly. So it's very interesting game style. And it is designed by Imp House Games, and it's supposed to be a 2-op cooperative player game for ages 8 and up. And, you know, it's a short game, runs about 20 minutes, and will retail for about $20. And then but yeah, so there we had a couple of interesting discussions about why this game is mechanics the way they are.
I loved Isabella's take on this.
Yeah, go ahead, Isabella. I didn't want to put people's spotlight, but if you don't mind, what your theory was.
Listen, we're talking about conspiracies earlier. I got a conspiracy for you guys. This game was created by big parents.
Big oil, big parents.
Big parents.
I was gonna say Big Papa, but that's
oh my gosh.
It's completely weird. This is designed by Big Mom, Big Dad to get the kids to stop talking. This is what happens when this game came at the perfect time. You've been stuck inside of your house. Your kids are just like, they're crawling on the walls. They're doing the dab. Like, you just, you know, they will not stop. And then you come up with this game, and the game is like, you guys get to play, but you guys have to be quiet. To me, as a kid, right through that stuff, I would have been like, you're trying to silence me, and you're trying to oppress me. And this this is a conspiracy from Big Dad to get me to not talk while you're doing your Zoom calls for work. And that's why this game was invented. That's my conspiracy theory. I love this game. And if I had a child, I would buy 15 copies of this game. one for all the neighborhood kids.
Yeah, so. I think this is a great direction. Like, if you look at something like Disney Villainous, amazing game, love playing it. The theme comes through it very strongly, but it's a pretty complex game, honestly. Like, not medium or heavy from a board gamer stance, but for a more general audience, I definitely know a lot of people who have been a little overwhelmed by the mechanics of it. So this idea of a Disney, it's a board game, 20 minutes, 2 players specifically too, which is very interesting, especially now, you know, you might not have as many players to play with right now. So I think that this is a really cool direction, and something that you can just play super quick. It's got the theme to it. It's a board game, so you get that face-to-face time. So I think there's a lot of good stuff going on here.
Yeah, that's important. I mean, I love performative aspects of like mechanics in games, where you get to like do something that's not what you would typically do when you're playing a board game. And this week when I was at Mox buying like a ton of board games, there were a ton I wanted to buy, but they were all like 3 or 4 plus players, and they were all like party games, and I didn't have anybody to play them with. So having the right kind of game show up just at the right time would be helpful for people who are actually looking for something to buy.
True. And 20 minutes is the length of a Zoom call. So I'm just saying, think about it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that is.
Saying.
That's some. Oh, look at that! Boom! You got the big brain ideas there. But no, it's good to like have like these 2-player games coming out, or even single-player games, because yeah, we are still in a pandemic. We are also, at least in the West Coast, locked down because of the smog, and you know, getting games like this that you can either play with maybe one other person online, or just one person in the house, or just by yourself, that's a very welcome thing. But yes, now, hey, did you guys know that was all of our main headlines for today? But hey, guess what? Because now we're gonna go ahead and have Javian down for the bundle box. There you go.
Thank you, Bonsai.
You're welcome.
That was amazing. I am the bundle boss today. I don't know if like Derek usually does it. I'm filling in for him. But I'm talking about the bundle of holding. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a website. They do a bunch of discounted bundles for RPG related things. And this bundle is called Epic Isometric Maps. So if you don't know what isometric is, it's basically 3D mapped on a 2D plane to make it look like it's 3D. So an isometric map would have basically would have your map. So you've got, you know, different terrain types. You've got not just, you know, like different waypoints and things like that, but actual like structures, things that like have height and like dimensions to them. So you get a little bit more out of the map than you would just, you know, like a top-down view. So with that, I like this bundle because it is mostly digital. So you get a bunch of PNGs, you get a bunch of PDFs, things that you can just import directly into Roll20 if that's how you play, or you can actually just download it and color it yourself if you wanted to give it a little bit more flavor, or if you want to just, you know, use it as is. They give you that sort of option with the bundle. I've seen a lot of bundle holding stuff before, and I've always really liked it. And then the charities that they benefit are usually really cool. They've been doing direct relief for a while, and this one is also benefiting direct relief. So if you want to help folks who are sending medical equipment, not just, you know, in the United States, but like around the world, the people who, you know, could really use them. If you're trying to do some social distancing, and you know, you want to do, you know, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, you can stay at home playing RPGs with these new maps, or you can you know, donate some of your money so you can actually help people, you know, get the supplies that they need. So it, you know, it works on multiple fronts. So the core set map includes heroes, monsters, props, and effects from Wardrum, which is a company that makes a lot of RPG items, and a lot of them are digital. Everything in this bundle is going to be digital as well too. So there's a lot of stuff that you get for it, and it's very, very affordable. I would check it out. I like the art style for it as well. black and white tends to be like hit or miss, but with an isometric style, you always get a little bit extra. If you've ever seen like one-page dungeons, which are like, these little like encounters or one-shots that you can run for your RPG campaigns, they always tend to use like isometric styles, and they just have so much like more character, more life to them. So I would definitely check this out if you want a little bit more material to use. If you're like me and you hate drawing maps, and I absolutely hate making my own maps.
Oh,
I'll use any tool I can find to like generate map like waypoints or like landmarks and things like that. So something like this is absolutely something I would totally use in my campaigns.
Very, very cool. But yes, don't forget, so bundle holding benefits direct relief. Go ahead and help people out from around the world. But now, hey, did you guys notice Derek isn't here because we have kicked him out of being Kickstarter queen, and we have established Kickstarter democracy.
Woohoo!
Take that, Derek, until he comes back.
All right, so the first order of business is we're going to set up a voting structure. We have some meetings and establish some bylaws. And...
Oh my god, I thought you were serious. You got me.
The first thing we're going to do is talk about Crazy Taco, which has 3 days left and is ending Monday, September 21st. Start a new day at the Mexican fast food restaurant. Do not lose popularity and deal with all the customers and issues that may happen. I thought this project was cool in part because it's being made in Madrid, Spain. So there's a lot of kind of the culture around tacos here. Like with this kind of game, sometimes I worry that it's like, oh, it's just some generic white American making a game about tacos and probably culturally appropriating. But in this case, it comes from Spain, so they have a little bit of history with it. Also tacos, right? What is not to love? Your beautiful, delicious tacos. I saw this game actually, and then I ordered tacos because I hadn't had tacos in a long time, and I ate them. They were delicious. So if you also want to eat tacos, you're probably going to eat tacos today. I bet like at least 50% of the people here are going to eat tacos because I'm talking about tacos now.
that mind.
Yeah. So if you like games where you're dealing with food and customers, it's competitive dice and worker placement. The theme is really cool. And games about food. I love games about food too. So a lot of great stuff here. So
you would expect a game like
Where's
this.
the E button?
You would expect a game like this to be like really small and really short and simple. And I think 30 minutes is a pretty short game, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So with worker placement and stuff like that, I think it could be a little bit more strategic and there's a little bit more depth to it than just like, oh look, a taco game that's like a card game where I toss tacos onto the table.
Yeah. Tacos. It does. Yeah. It seems with the dice placement and the worker placement, it seems that there's a little bit of stuff going on there. So definitely check that out if you like all these mechanics and foods. I think it's just a great combination of things. Wait, there's a poll in the chat now. What is this? I don't even know if this is a thing.
The unbiased.
The WoW movie good? All right. Excellent. Yeah, vote in the poll if you haven't, because this poll is great and unbiased.
This is very unbiased, huh?
It took me a while to figure out what the choices. I was like, limited choices here.
The right choices.
Only the right choices.
All right, yeah. So that's Crazy Taco. Again, 3 days left. Check it out.
All right. And then Isabella, what is your Kickstarter?
So the next Kickstarter, actually I have 2 Kickstarters, but the first one is this one called Supercharge, which is a car racing game for 1 to 5 players set in the 1920s and the 1930s. And I thought this was really cool because I never really see a game that's like about car racing from a period car racing game. I don't know. I've never seen this, maybe because I'm not like, I don't know, like in the stuff, and I'm not on the up and up, but this was really cool. It reminds me of like stock car racing and stuff. I'm I'm from Texas. I was going to say unfortunately, but you know what? Texas is proud.
I love Texas.
Texas is great. Texas is great. And in Texas, we have a sport, a national sport, and that is NASCAR. My God, do people love their cars in Texas? This was to an unhealthy degree. So I thought that this was a really cool kind of game that you can play. It's 45 minutes to an hour, ages 8 and up. And this is just a kind of a cool, it looks old timey. It reminds me a lot of just like really kind of like vintage Hasbro games, you know? And it looks kind of like it's, you know, turn of the century. And so I thought it was really unique. And not saying that I get tired of dungeon crawling or being shot out into space or anything like that, but like every once in a while, you want a game that's like a little bit something different than just like beat this orc, do the dab in a spaceship. Like it's just, you know, I'm gonna do the dab now for 4 more times. So that's the thing. They have 6 days left. That ends on Thursday, September 24th. So check that out if you're interested in that. The next one that I have is a game called The Wretched. This is on its second printing. This game goes so hard. I think that Derek wanted to do this one, but since he's not here, I gleefully took it over. They had me when they said that this game was inspired by Nine Inch Nails, which is so metal. I love this also because it's a solo game, and these kind of like solo horror games. It's appropriate for the time period. I've been playing a lot of like horror PC games where you're just kind of like alone facing the black apocalyptic void of a distant and dark future in which there's no hope whatsoever, just relaxing, you know, doing what I do. And this is a game that is just devoid of all happiness. So
Very game.
If you're looking for a game that it's a solo horror game where all you need is a deck of cards, a microphone, and I think Block Tower is also the cool thing about this is that it comes with a zine that helps you play the game, but also one of the cool things is that it comes with a vinyl album, which is awesome. This is so cool, and I wish that more people would do this kind of stuff. I love like immersive soundtracks for games. I think it's just like it just helps you to get into the world of it. It's also inspired by 2 other games which are on itch.io. One is called You're Not Alone in This Life, which is also a solo horror game that you can play with 52 cards and a 6-sided dice. And then the other one, which also, if you can pick up what these games are about, which is called You Will Die Alone Out Here, which sounds just uplifting and fun.
Existential. Ooh, it just made me feel so warm and cozy all of a sudden. Yes.
I don't know. I guess me and Derek, like, since we're both like spooky, dark people, this sounds like a great idea. And I'm going to be getting all of these games because they sound depressing and perfect for our time period. And so if you're like me, you want to curl up and into a deep, dark depression, these games, these are perfect. The Wretched's on its second printing. It was printed first in April, and it was such a huge success that they're doing it again. They have 6 days left. And so check it out. Play Nine Inch Nails as loud as you possibly can. Just cry, maybe just sit down and just play the game and just cry.
I like it.
Or you could just, jump on Discord with me and we'll play Best Friends Forever. And
yeah, we're here on the happy side over here.
No, but yes, embrace the darkness and all this good stuff. And I really do like the artwork on this. Good. But yes. Oh, Javion, you're up.
All right, let's talk about gambling. We've got a Kickstarter for poker lovers. It's called Antimatter. It is a sci-fi strategy like space pirate game. So everybody plays as a band of space pirates who are trying to loot, grift, and steal a bunch of treasure, which then you will gamble in a poker game that will that will determine who gets to take an extra turn to move on the board and get more treasure. And then if you can get enough money, all you have to do is get one huge score with like these really like bad guys, I suppose, in the world that they've created for this board game. And as long as you have like enough money, you win the game. But throughout the game, people are constantly going to be trying to steal from you or bluff you out of like out into like a big pot that you'll end up losing, so that they can take a bunch of money from you. I love the components for this game. It's got this sort of like neon in the darkness kind of feel to it. And of course, you know me, I love a thick chip, and they've got really thick poker chips that sound really clacky when you play with them. So I mean, it's like the same kind of thing you would see in like a casino or something like that.
Yeah.
In
Ooh.
space.
In space,
Oh.
space casino.
Yeah. And of course they have like minis too that you could like paint or you could just play with because they're so like nicely designed.
Mhm.
Or if that wasn't enough for you, you could pay just like a little bit extra for the upgraded pieces where everything is metal except for the board and the cards. The cards are foils, bonsai. So you could get like metal chips, metal miniatures around the board. Oh, and yeah, there's a four-sided metal die. It's used to determine like the dealer, but you could also just use it as like a turn tracker and that kind of thing as well. A couple of other really cool add-ons are you get like a comic if you buy the game, and you can get extra comics if you get one of the upgraded tiers. So they have like a whole universe for their board game that they're creating. Bard Shark, this is their first game that they've made, so this is their first Kickstarter as well. There's 5 days left, and it's only about $60. I've already backed it, so
Nice.
can definitely say I would love to see somebody else to play this with. Would be really cool. At least it is a 3 to 6 player game though, so be careful. You might not be able to play it for a while, but then again, it's a Kickstarter, so by the time we get it, we'll all be living in space. So
I really like the aesthetic of it. Somebody in chat was saying that it's like The Great Gatsby together with
yeah.
And for me, it reminded me a lot of the casino scene from oh my goodness, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It reminded me of that kind of like classic 1920s, but by the way of space. So I really like the aesthetic. I'm surprised this is their first game because this is really, really sophisticated.
Yeah, it's pretty. I like the artwork, and then like I agree with the clicky clacky of the dice, like heftiness, or not the dice, the chips. The thick chip, the thick double C.
If you're really dedicated to the cause, you could spend thousands of dollars and become a card in the game. You could be like a general or even a boss. You could. There's still space open for you to become part of the Space Pirate crew.
Nice.
Wow.
It's really interesting. I've never been in a board game before. I was really tempted to do it. I still might.
Just to have your face in there.
Great,
yeah. Em and I are gonna make a board game, and I'll put myself in that one.
Yeah, you're gonna be in it. It's gonna be great.
Wow.
All right.
So yeah, but sorry, one more thing. If you like Texas Hold'em, it uses those card game mechanics. If you've ever played like Clank or card games where you're like moving pieces around the board, I would definitely check it out.
Sweet. Up next, we have the Enneagram / Mosquito and Amber RPG dice plus bonus sets. 6 days left, ending Thursday, September 24th. I just picked these ones because I like it when Marcus makes cool pictures of dice and then we oogle over them in the chat screen. And it's really great just to see the fancy dice that we got going on here. There they are. Yeah, look at them. Ooh, so shiny.
Oh,
yeah. These are nice.
They actually legitimately have, things in there.
They're not actual mosquitoes trapped in amber. I looked at that because again, we talked about how gullible I am. And I saw these, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that like a real amber mosquito? Like, that's pretty fancy having that be a real thing. But then it says like, oh, this is a 3D modeled mosquito. So not real mosquitoes in amber. Although I will say, I wanted to bring this and show it into the camera. I actually apparently this is an amber dice. I got it from like a dice subscription service, but as you can, I'm like, it just kind of looks like an orange dice with some stuff in it. Like, it's supposedly amber, but you can't really tell. So I like these ones with the mosquito. Like, you get it, right? It's like, it's amber because it's got the mosquito. Also, if you click through to the link, you're going to see a lot of other cool types of dice. They have, it's kind of weird, actually. The mosquito dice are most of the way down the page because they have a bunch of different, with a lot of these great dice Kickstarters, right? You can get 50 million dice and mix and match them. They also apparently have Breaking Bad blue crystal dice.
I like that one because they were like not real drugs. There's no meth in these dice.
Okay.
Wait, they actually have to state
that. I haven't actually seen the show, so I guess that's the meth. Is the blue?
Yes.
Oh,
Wait, what? Wait, what?
I just seen right here where they said it's like, there's not real mosquitoes, not real drugs, not real blood.
Please don't crack open these dice. There's no crystal meth in these dice.
Hang on. What? Emma hasn't seen Breaking Bad?
Wait, what?
I don't watch. I only watch Avatar.
We are going to have a conversation. We are going to have a conversation after this.
The show is overrated.
Oh my God, you're so wrong. Okay.
I said what I said.
I'm going to take a deep breath.
Anyways, so there's also it dice that are like bloody kind of and gross. And
also, not real blood.
Not real blood.
Yeah.
A little disappointing, but
so I had to scroll down this great dice Kickstarter, and then there's a picture of this terrifying clown, and then I was terrified and sad. So don't go that far down the page because you'll see the clown and you won't like that. But other than that, great dice, 6 days left. You should check it out.
All right, and then Javion again. What do you got for us?
It's me. All right, so we're gonna talk about a game that sounds like my name. It's called Javion. It is a hero crafting card game. You may be asking yourself, what does hero crafting mean? Just think of it as building a deck and a person at the same time. So there's 2 ways of building the deck in this game. It is supposed to be sort of like a deck builder, kind of like Magic the Gathering. There's the simple deck building, and then there's the complicated deck building. If you've ever played Sorcerer, it has similar mechanics to it, where you can put like preset cards together and sort of like mix and match the preset like mini decks to make one big one, or you can just individually choose which cards you're going to put into your deck. It is a 2-player game only. It is a area control card playing game. So typically you're just going to be moving your miniatures around the board, attacking one another. And they have like a storyline in the background like going on. So they're advertising it having like lots of thematic value if you like having some story with your board game. The company that's making this, called Luminary Games, is actually based here in Seattle and Bellevue, which I know because they actually came to Mox like a year and a half and sold their early copy of this game, which is just like a big box with all the cards in it. But now this is sort of like a relaunch. So now you have 3 separate boxes with 2 characters each, kind of like Dice Throne if you've ever played that. And they're all customizable and you can sort of mix and match them. So if you get 2 separate boxes, 2 characters each, you got 4 characters that you can mix together. So they are standalone, but you can also mix them together. It looks really cool. They have a lot of support digitally already, which is interesting. You can print and play a lot of the cards right now if you just want to try it out for free, or you can try it on Tabletop Simulator for free, which they're also advertising on their Kickstarter. So you actually get to find out if you like it or not, which I feel like more Kickstarters should really think about doing, because there are a lot of people like me who would really, I mean, I'm going to jump in and buy a board game if I think it looks good no matter what, but it helps if I can play it for free with some people, try it out first, see if I like it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Especially because it's like you can't go to cons where like that's where I try out as many games as I possibly can right now. And since I'm not going to a con for the foreseeable future, I think that more people should do that. So yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
And I will agree with Javion. I got to see the people showing off the game at Mox. They are very dedicated and very passionate to the universe. That's always good to see as creators. Some people make a board game like, I made a board game, but they're like very passionate about this world and about the IP. So it's great to see creators who are that dedicated to their craft.
Can I get something off my chest real fast? I'm sorry.
Ooh.
So this Kickstarter's name is Ivion. And every person that I've like shown this game to, I've asked them to be like, "Oh, can you pronounce this really fast?" And they pronounce it perfectly every single time. But they can't pronounce my name like correctly on the first try ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Wait, how do people pronounce your name?
Like Javon, like they skipped the I or something for some reason, or Javian or something weird like that. I don't know. It's just heartbreaking.
I'm glad you got it.
It's good. It's good to have that breath,
I should say I also own this game, but only because it sounds like my name. So
well, yeah, no, that's really cool. It's beautiful artwork, and I like to hear like when somebody's really, really passionate about their like various different games. And of course, I support when you have preview views on Tabletop Sims.
I do recommend Ivion for the gameplay as well, by the way. It is actually really fun. They have this like power and life mechanic like system that they use where you like keep track of certain points that you can like spend, and you save up all these resources until a point where you want to like unleash like a really tough, like really long 10-minute combo attack where your opponent is like saving up cards so that they can dispel magic, counter, parry, all of these different cards that you can play. It's a very interactive card game. I would definitely check it out if you want to try it.
Very, very cool. And then for mine, everyone has their like nice serious thing, and I'm like, hey, guess what? 7 days left, Finding Sasquatch. So mine is so this game, very just humorous, fast-paced adventure card game. It's a good game. I would suggest like in between 2 to 5 players. I would suggest playing this game as an in-between because it is supposed to be a light, fast-paced kind of card game. You are basically you are people trying to find Sasquatch. And so the difficulty is that you have to get the right combination of gear, guide, and land when you're searching for Sasquatch. And as the game progresses, these three factors will change over time, of the different elements. And it's memory and deduction where you're like, all right, so first somebody goes ahead and proposes like, this is where I try to find Sasquatch. And then they can look over and see. And if some things don't match, they can choose one to reveal, one to change, and one to delete and not reveal. So it's just like, try to make it so your deck of cards allows you to capture and find the Sasquatch. It's a real simple game with only 3 actions: draw cards, play cards into table, or check to see if you can find the Sasquatch. But there is some level of depth to it. So it's just like a fun little fast-paced, silly game that you can play in between, like if you're doing like a longer 2-hour game and such. And this one's just a fast, quick pick me up with, of course, humorous artwork and drawing. So if you like that kind of game, 7 days left, Friday, September 25th, Finding Sasquatch. All right, folks. Wait, did you guys know that was all of our Kickstarters? And so that was the end of TableTakes. But wait, don't go, because we still have a lot more here to offer you. We're not just a Friday show here on TableTakes. We have a whole slew of shows throughout the week. So these, keep in mind, are all Pacific Standard Time. Streaming schedule starts with Mondays, Board Games with the Brothers Murph. So if you guys like seeing couple family members play a game, with sibling rivalry involved, you'll go ahead and check that out at 6 p.m. on Monday. Wednesdays, we got 1:30 p.m. This game gets dicey. We have one international player and one U.S. player play various different games and how they would play online. Like basically, how do you play when you do have people that are online versus just in front of you? Also on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Fireside with Peter Atkinson and, of course, the new voices of D&D. Peter Atkinson, of course, old school, like was there in the start of like when D&D really blossomed, and now he's bringing in new fresh voices and new faces and that are changing how we play RPGs. So that's at 4 p.m. Friday, 2 p.m. Of course, you can see our lovely faces here at TableTakes. Yes, all of our lovely faces. Just remember, folks, to follow, subscribe, turn on the
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh gosh, Bonsai. Bonsai, we got the rescue Bonsai. Yes.
Oh wait, oh no, I'm dead. I'm dead. Okay, my internet. Oh, okay, so my internet's in the red. Okay, bye. Thank you, Javion.
Thank you.
And Isabella.
Bye.
I had such a
Great to
great
see
time.
y'all. Take care. Bye.
Take care.